Good evening and welcome to the May 12, 2026 meeting of the Board of Zoning Appeals of Munster. Please stand for a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the March 10th meeting. Do I have any corrections, modifications?
Can you see roll call first?
I'm sorry.
You're just jumping right in.
I have it.
Ready for roll call? Member Brannigan,
Present.
member Galante,
That's Kane. I wasn't here.
we're doing roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Wait,
I'm
he's
here.
here, how do you?
I'm here.
Okay,
I don't have a name tag, so maybe I'm not.
Right. That's not official.
member Johns,
Yeah, here.
member Sharp, I'll check online real quick, he may have joined us. Oh, wait, let's see if that's. One attendees in the waiting room, so. Is it not starting? Nope, it's Teresa. Okay, no, we're good. Got it. Here, and then, member Mayor,
Here. Okay,
There you go.
now we can do the approval of the minutes. Do we have any modifications or corrections?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of March 10th or 12th. 10th. Oh, wow.
Do I have a
The
second?
March meeting minutes.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the March 10th meeting. Take
roll
roll.
call. Okay.
Yes, please.
Member Brannigan,
Yes.
member Galante,
And I'll abstain.
and member Johns,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. Okay, we have no public hearings, so we're gonna move on to preliminary hearings. First item is BZA 26001, developmental standards variance for the school town of Munster, requesting a variance from section 26.6.405 to allow the replacement of required shade trees with columnar shrubs at 8823 Columbia Avenue.
So, I'll give the BZA a briefing. About a year ago, the school town of Munster, presented a, addition to the athletic complex, which includes athletic field, includes a parking lot. They received approval, complied with, the requirements of the zoning code. However, after the installation of shade trees as required along, the right of way for screening and shade of a parking lot, it was determined that the shade trees would cause safety concerns with the growth of that into the public right of way, particularly the sidewalk. They're requesting a variance from that requirement, zoning requirement, to install columnar type trees that would provide screening, but maybe not a canopy as required by the code.
Welcome,
Good
Mr.
evening.
Beckley.
Thank you.
If you state your name
Sean Beckley.
and address.
Sean Beckley, Director of Operations, Center 70, Indiana Parkway, Munster, Indiana. And thank you. Exactly what Sergio said. The trees are encroaching into the sidewalk. So we have kids walking down the street and they're running into the branches and they'll continue to encroach into the sidewalk. So what we are recommending and would like a variance for is to put a columnar tree in there that will fill the space, but will not encroach into the sidewalk, because we have about 3 feet between the fence and the sidewalk. So these shrubs I think are the best compromise that we could put in there to meet the intent of the ordinance and not cause branches for the kids as they're walking down 35th Street.
Okay, very good. Any questions, board members?
Yeah, I do have a question. Thanks for the presentation. I actually walked through there. I agree with you. It can get your eye poked out or some kind of scratch. Definitely does that. My question is, when I hear shade, right? It's supposed to give shade and protection. And is it more aesthetic or is it more for coverage of the parking lot?
It's more for aesthetic. These are not going to provide the shade that a shade tree would have. I'm not saying that one of our kids would pull a branch back and put it like back to another student, but it.
Okay.
Any other questions? A motion?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move
Michelle. Sorry, we need public hearing.
to the public hearing, right? Yes.
I'm sorry.
Is it-
We're all off tonight.
I know. I'm gonna go with the rent. I was gonna move it to public hearing for the,
We're good.
June 9th. Yes,
Yes.
may I please make that motion, Madam Chairman?
You may. Did I have a second?
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. Can we take roll?
Member Brannigan,
Abstain.
member Galante,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
and member Miller.
Did you say anything?
Yes, and member
I'm
Miller.
sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Okay, so we will go ahead and advertise that for next month. Very good, thank you. Okay, moving on to BZA 26-002, developmental standards variance for Dave Audi, the Community Foundation, requesting two standards of the Powers Held 800 MacArthur Plan Unit Development Ordinance 1892. To increase the width of an entrance driveway from 35 feet to 52 feet, and to increase the height of the emergency backup generator enclosure walls from 6 feet to 13 feet.
so I'll give the board a briefing of the project. Last year, about a little bit over a year ago, the project received plan commission approval for development plan. As part of that, they also updated their amendments to the PUD and identified certain codes to work within. One of the codes they're asking for a variance from is their PUD district. The code reads that it requires a 6-foot high screen wall or fence. As part of the development, they're proposing an additional backup generator that would be taller than 6 feet. They'd like to screen that equipment with a, I'm sorry, is that a 16-foot wall screen or fence? As part of that variance from their code. The other code is our zoning code, which requires a 35-foot right of way, or sorry, entranceway, driveway into a parking lot. In this case, they're proposing a 50-foot wide parking lot entrance. And so they're widening it from 35 feet to 52 feet, citing concerns for traffic circulation, particularly large vehicles and private trucks. So that is their request for.
Welcome, Mr. Ronnie.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Dave Audi, Powers Health, 15014 West 90th, Cedar Lake. And yeah, we're seeking approval. The reason we're looking for that opening to be widened up is so we can provide access. There's two 8-yard dumpsters in that enclosure that we need access for Republic to empty. And as far as the generator, it'll be a much neater, cleaner look having it entirely enclosed with the 16-foot precast walls. The precast will all match the new addition we put on the parking garage. So it'll have an elegant look. It's almost to the southeast corner, so you still will see the new 5-story building that are being erected.
Okay, very good. Any questions from the board?
Sounds though, why we're making the change.
Right. It'll be a good fit. It'll look nice. And it'll keep the generator enclosed. So nice, neat look.
No questions, motion?
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to move BZA 26-002 to public hearing in June. June 9th.
I'll second.
Sergio, we have a motion and a second to approve the public hearing.
Member Brannigan,
Yes.
member Galante,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do the advertising for next month.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is BZA 26-003, developmental standards variance for the WT group representing school town of Munster. They're requesting variances for private lighting standards, private lighting types, landscape, and roof types. Or facade void area.
All right, so I'll give the board a briefing of the project. The school town of Munster is anticipating or proposing to at some point submit a development plan to construct a rec facility where the central office is on the second floor, a field house per se, or whatever the case is, as they file, when they file. As part of this request, the location of this is between the middle school and the high school. As part of this request, they would be seeking variances, couple variances from our zoning code. One in particular being the lighting standards. Our standard required lighting to be at 3,000 K. They're proposing a 5,000 K lighting standard. The school has approached before the town, the BZA on variance for the lighting standards, and they have been granted at both 5,000 and 4,000 K, depending on the location. In this case, they're asking to maintain a 5,000 K lighting standard. We would need some clarification as part of the public hearing, whether they're also seeking a variance on the pole height, as well as the head type. And so that way we can at least be able to secure that information for the public hearing. Other variances they're requesting for is variances on the parking lot islands. Typically what our code requires is that every 10 feet, every 10 parking spaces, a parking lot include an island, a landscaped island. In this case, they're requesting that a variance be granted from those islands. However, they are proposing to maintain landscape islands for areas at the end of the rows of each of their parking areas, just not within the parking lot itself, or determination of parking rows. They're also proposing requesting a variance from a pitched roof. Our current code requires a minimum of two 2.8 pitch, or 8-12 pitch or 14-12 pitch. They're proposing it, is that 212?
212.
212, a 212 pitch roof. So it's a bit more steeper. They've indicated the peculiarity about this zoning code is that it is for a field house or sports rec center, but typically it's not conducive to this type of facility. And then the variances they're also asking for is the facade void area. Typically, the zoning code requires 20 to 60% void area or fenestrations. In this case, they're proposing 10.8%. Again, citing the use of the facility is not typical for the type of codes that we currently require for in the zoning code in this sense. So they're asking a reduction in the type of void areas. I believe that is all the variances they're requesting for.
Hi guys, how are you? My name is Dr. Matthew Hicks and my address is 8616 Conley Avenue. My residential address is over by Frank H. I'm going to keep the rest of that private for toilet papering purposes. But I am here to talk to you a little bit about this building that we are proposing that we would like to bring to you to build at some point. And I'll let the team kind of get into the nuts and bolts of each of the variances. But this building was proposed in 2023 so that we could build a facility that would allow our student athletes to have enough space for athletic and extracurricular activities after school so that we don't continue to have to stack practices until late into the evening. And so that is the original philosophy behind this building. And then this year, based on Senate Enrolled Act 1, which I don't know how much the council talks to you all about, but it is creating some budget constraints for all municipalities and all school districts. We propose to put our central office into this facility to have some have cost savings for the project. And so these variances will help keep our costs down, and I'll let our team kind of talk through that. And as Sergio so eloquently explained, some of it is just for continuity so that it looks as much like the rest of campus as possible. But this will be an athletic and extracurricular facility at its core. And we're just trying to also add a little bit of office suite space so that we can save on some construction costs. So that is really the spirit of this building as you consider it. And I just wanted to share that with you before our team gets into the nitty and the gritty. Can I answer any questions for you guys before I trot the rest of the train up? Okay, thanks, guys.
We'll have questions, don't we?
All right, Sean and I get to present. So, hi guys. Morgan Nolan, Principal, Munster High School, address 9749 Whitehall Garden here in Munster. Joined up here by Sean. Just Sergio did a great job kind of talking about the variances we're asking for, but just a brief explanation on most of these. First one on the lighting. As Sergio pointed out, we've asked for some variances in the past. We're asking for the same ones in this facility, so we keep the lighting the same across campus. So 5,000 K is a little bit better for school safety. And then the light head types will be the same. That matches everything copaesthetically that we already have done across the campus. So keeping that all in place. Landscaping, the islands themselves, not having them is going to allow us to maximize parking on campus. When you put those islands in, it squeezes that parking lot, which makes it a little bit more difficult to park on campus. So gives us a little bit more space to play with when we have those big events, and it keeps parking from happening on the side streets, which then becomes neighbors' complaints. If someone blocks a driveway, parks in front of their house, we're trying to make sure that we have plenty of space for our attendees to park on campus and not on the side streets for events. And you guys know people like parking close to the buildings, so we're trying to make sure that we have parking close for that convenience. The roof pitch, as noted, there is a drawing of what would have to be required to meet code in that roof pitch. Not a very pretty aesthetic for a building that we're trying to build. It would end up forcing us to build almost a 9-story building for that roof height, which adds a ton of volume to the building and the facility itself, which is unnecessary, which is additional heating and cooling costs, and obviously volume costs for the building itself. So having go into a 212 pitch roof, as shown here, maximizes our height space for athletics that are taking place in the facility. Football, soccer, baseball, softball, especially, they're hitting long balls, high balls, keeping those off the roof lines. So we want to make sure we maximize that height as much as possible. So that's why we're asking for that variance on the roof line there. And then finally, the windows, again, we're putting as many windows as we can in there. Obviously, the more windows you have in a facility where balls are getting hit, the higher risk of those breaking, safety concerns, and then the lighting itself. We need to be able to control lighting as opposed to having natural light burying into these places. You get shadows casting, which leads to further safety issues, especially in like sports like baseball and soccer, where the ball's coming through some shadow areas and those types of things. If we can control lighting in the facility itself, then we're not having to worry about that natural lighting being an issue. So we're adding as much natural lighting as we can, kind of within that scope, because we do want that. But obviously you can't have floor to ceiling window spaces with balls hitting that and breaking and damaging and all that fun stuff. So happy to take questions on those four
I could just add, if the calculations, if we did the 812 pitch, would be about 800 cubic feet, 800,000 cubic feet, which would be a hardship in heating, essentially heating and cooling another building. Also, we've hosted sectional, and a perfect example, the boys sectional, when we hosted that, we had people parking all the way down to Frank Hammond. So it was creating a hardship for our patrons, people coming to the school. And it's also creating a hardship on our neighbors with multiple people parking in front of their house. So we want to keep as much parking as possible on the facility. We've put in the new parking lot in 35th, and we are being true to our word of using it only when necessary. So if we have extra flow, but we do host multiple, we could have a swim event, a theater event, an athletic event, and the town may have a baseball event going on at the same time where parking really does get to be at a premium.
Questions?
I have a question. Just a few things getting going here. Well, I guess for Sergio's question, are you guys also going to seek a variance like you have in the elementary schools on the height for the lights, or?
No, we're gonna keep it
No.
at 20 feet, so we won't need a
Yep.
variance for that.
Okay,
We will need for the type.
The head type and the color type. We're at, 5K and then the head type to match what we already have.
You say already had, you mean the management's in the parking lot, high school now?
At the high school.
Correct, yep.
The ones at the middle school are pretty dated, and we would like to get those replaced and make them,
stay consistent.
yes.
Yep. Trying to get consistent, yep.
So for the next meeting, you'll provide a cut sheet for the proposed light fixture head type?
Yes.
Very good.
No, I, first of all, so excited to have this multi-purpose building in our community. I'm so glad that we're expanding our facilities, and it's for so many reasons. Super happy that it's coming to fruition. Because it's prominence, you guys could put up a pole barn and you would be within your civic code realm. And obviously you've added brick, you've done things to make it aesthetic. You've tried to tie it in with the other buildings. Did the architect look at the pool building, like as a reference, like the roof angles and?
Yeah, it's a great point. I know we did explore a flatter roof on this facility. It will hinder the facility.
Just a pitched, like.
It's gonna hinder the facility, the use inside. So it gets back to the use inside. So as we looked at a flatter roof, we lose height space, which limits the facility itself. So, we explored all those things because we heard you guys, we listened to you. And going to a flatter roof would, again, because we're working with the volume inside that space. As we flatten that roof, we lose height. We come down to almost 30 feet and we need 35 to be within the range. So, for our standpoint as the high school itself, we want to build a nice facility. We obviously want it usable. We don't want to put something up where it's like, man, if we had 5 more feet, we could actually do what we need to do in here versus, well, it looks nice because it's a flatter roof and it matches the pool. Pool height is plenty in there. I mean, swimmers aren't shooting balls 35 feet in the air. So, just because of what's going on in there, it just makes it a little bit different.
Makes sense. Well, so my next questioning, and it's all purely aesthetic, and I know, I understand too, that the function dictates where you can place windows, as you said. And I would like to see architecturally this get broken up a little bit, whether it's
The
steel
elevation.
awning or breaking up like this little bitty door off to this side. This is just personal opinion. I feel that the balance, it's not as aesthetically pleasing as it could be. And I realize that we're using taxpayer money for this, but it is such a prominent, visible, Columbia is a major artery, gets a lot of traffic. And I also feel like if we're investing in this for our school district, to have something that maybe is a little more impressive, that doesn't cost a whole lot more. I don't have all the answers to that, but I would.
That is a balance we have been trying to
Yeah.
strike. The balance we're trying to is functionality.
I appreciate that.
And that was one thing, because our worst building for air quality, for HVAC with old pneumatics controls is our central office. It is a maintenance nightmare. We can't find parts for the HVAC equipment anymore. You can't find people to work on it because no one works on pneumatics anymore. It's a guy who's nearing retirement that comes out and works from Margaret. So when Dr. Hicks came on, we tried to come up with ways to save money, and putting the central office there and co-locating it was a way to maximize our resources. You know, if we are trying everything we can to make it aesthetically pleasing and to keep it functional, and we have a limit on how much we can bond. And then also, there's other things, there's gonna be roofs at Elliott and Eads and a high school, and there's other things, or other I like to call them operational mouths to feed throughout the district that we're going to have to continue to take care of. So, we want to be good stewards of taxpayers' money. We want to create the best product we possibly can. We have touched every academic spot in that building where when the kids go in there, they have bright light, they have a clean facility, they have technology when they turn that on, and it's the air quality is good, the CO2 levels. We have worked on that. We have just redone the auditorium where, you know, 1,000 people can come in there and have a great performance. And I tell people, the reason I wake up in the morning is to give every school town of Munster kid the chance to excel. And if you go over to some of our neighboring schools and you look at what they have going, when there's 2 feet of snow out and they're kicking field goals, or they're kicking corner kicks, or they're getting 200 swings in, or they're moving weight quickly, that is the X factor where we want to see our students excel. So we're trying to balance all these things and get it inside a building and get that footprint right.
So we have that resource, like, I think it's exciting, I
But
mean,
look-
it really is.
But I'll bring up like a logistics issue. This facility is a practice facility, and I don't want to just say it's that, because it's more than that. I mean, it is a good feeling, but this isn't a spectator spot, and we have a main entrance, we have an auditorium entrance, and we have our gym entrance right now that are kind of the premier areas that draw the eye in. We don't want people showing up to campus and be like, oh, that's got to be the main entrance. Look how beautiful and lit up it is. And then they're stuck walking all the way around campus to try to get into our field house, right? This is a practice facility by all means. So we don't want to draw people, visitors into the district to be like, oh, it's got to be in that new wing, because this is where we're going to get our work done versus where we're going to compete. So it's just a little bit different, you know, purpose. So like in the design features and phases, we want to make sure that we're not taking away from the entrances that we have that are really nice, to try to put in a big spectacle entrance that's not going to get used because it's coming and going a practice facility.
Also understood. What I was more so asking for is a little, to break up the, you know, one of your variances is for the amount of open space. Obviously, functionally, I hear why you're asking why you're asking for variance. But in the same regard, to break up, and my understanding too is, I was calling it the forehead, so where the pitch is, that the plan there that we can't see yet is there's gonna be an image in there. And it's
You were branded, yep.
it'll be is it a 2-dimensional image? Is it a painted image?
Or it's a 4D image.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. We have not designed the branding yet on the building. So.
We haven't
talked about the bat signal.
We wanted to bring,
Sexual interest in that.
Yeah.
Or, well, you're not looking for great.
We
So the elevation that we're looking at
Mhm.
there is the east elevation?
you're looking west. You're looking west.
that's west,
What's that?
that's looking west.
That's the east
This
elevation.
is the east
You're
side
on
of the building.
Columbia.
You're facing west. Yep.
Okay,
Yep. So this is Wilbur Wright right here.
okay, so that's where people would go into the office.
Correct.
There
This would be
was-
entering central office would be that door off to the side there. Yes.
Okay, okay, and the reason that there's a windows on the second floor is because that's. a
That's
second
office
floor.
space.
That's office
Yes.
space.
The bottom floor is weight room.
So can you turn that elevation though, to
Mhm.
the other side? So now those windows that are indicating second floor, that's the limit of the second floor there.
Correct.
So
Yes.
beyond that is completely open to the deck.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Okay, and where the kids are gonna be practicing in that practice facility, you're not gonna have any light, outdoor light?
There is on the north side of the building. There's some lighting coming in on that side. On this side, there's a hallway to traverse the facility. There's natural lighting coming through there. But there's some natural lighting on the north side of
Okay.
Go for that
they
building.
To carry those windows across.
It's a translucent window.
Yeah, it's translucent on this side.
Yeah.
What, say that again?
Yes.
Yep, but
On the other side.
correct. On this side over here, there is not, because when you get in those upper deck levels, again, what we'd have to put up to protect that glass from balls and those types of things, baseballs coming down, we have drop down nets for batting and such. You know, the risk of damage is there. So we put glass up, it's bound to get broken. And I'm not sure that's anything anybody wants to deal with.
Is there a reason why you have it on the one side and not on the other side?
Design interior wise, yeah. Yeah, there's space, for it, where there's a track on one side. We don't have that on this side. It's turf up to the wall and basketball courts up to that wall.
Very good. Okay, any other questions from the board?
I just had one question, going back to safety on the parking lot, the facility. You said the lights are gonna be on the ends, right? Not the islands, right? So 10 feet, is 5,000 K enough to light the center for safety reasons?
Yeah,
They're gonna
well,
be on the ends, that's
Yeah, our engineers
Yeah.
has looked over and
yeah, well, that 5,000 K
photometrics.
gets us up to where the lighting needs to be so we can light properly. Yep.
Do you have a photometric study on this one?
I,
I thought we did.
we can,
So a photometric would be presented to the planning commission. This is just a variance from the zoning set.
Again, we're happy.
No, we can, they'll need one for their,
Okay.
development plan. We can squeeze one in for.
They're asking
BZA.
for a variance though on the 5,000 K,
Correct.
so you don't think we would need to see a photometric plan?
If they're asking for a variance if they're meeting the illumination requirements, then no, they do not need a variance for that. So their lighting engineer would determine whether the.
How they disperse the light, that comes as part of the development plan, right? If they have 5 lights or 50 lights, that's gonna count as what.
I would suspect that the school town would want to comply with those requirements, not come back for another variance.
We're not asking for a variance on photometrics. We're just asking for a variance to match what we currently have, which is 5K in the same head type. Yeah.
And
I believe the last time I came, the photometrics was the light bleeding over into the neighbors was the issue.
Yeah.
Even with our 35th Street parking lot, there was concerns that as we put lighting there, it would bleed into the neighbor's property. And we ensured that didn't take place.
And I think the last request for the photometrics was that the reason why they're not probably seeking a 20-foot height greater than the pole height is because they would give them better control on the direction of the light.
Correct.
And so that would not trigger a variance as far as photometrics. So this is just a request for the illuminations of a 5,000 K from a 3,000 K.
Okay, and the parking lot that we're talking about, where these pole lights and the islands, it's where the administration building is getting demolished, is that?
No, you're talking about where our bus parking is currently as we redesign all the footprint around the building.
We're gonna have to move where the bus parking lot is. The bus parking lot will now go in front of the middle school. So here, this is the middle school. So we'll have parking here, that we're requesting the variance, and we'll have parking here. And this is where the buses will come in the morning and come in the afternoon.
That's on the back side of the school?
No, that's on the front
This
side.
is Columbia.
Front of Columbia,
Right
yep.
here. This is north. This is where central office is now. And this is where the building we're proposing would go.
Okay,
So we would have parking here. So we've done the traffic study to improve traffic flow in and out. Cool.
So you're saying that the buses will flow in front of Wilbur right now? rather
Correct.
than-
Correct,
Instead of
between the two
Currently,
buildings.
they're here, this area. So they'll come in off of 35th and they'll pull in. And then we'll wait till all the buses get in, we'll offload at one time. Reduce the moving parts, you know, go either down to the high school or into the middle school. And in the afternoon, we'll come in and we'll face this way. All the kids will get on, we'll get released. So
okay, so.
Don't touch the
so
screen.
The pole lights and the landscape islands are in that dark gray area.
they're here, and they would be here also. We want to maximize the parking space here. Because like what we do now, when this is not a bus parking lot, it becomes a parking lot. And we would have it striped both ways for both buses and for cars. So when we have big events, one of the problems is, kids, when we have an event at the middle school, they don't know where to park. They don't know where to enter. So this will kind of help the flow there too.
But you won't be increasing the hard surface area. It's just gonna be redistributing the flow.
I don't know what the square, I think,
I think we will increase the
somewhat.
like 100 spots between the new triangle. Can't see this map, the triangle lot and the bus parking lot. Well, the triangle lot will be 100 spots, and then I don't know how many spots. But that will be a replication of
Yeah,
our.
we're definitely adding more hard surface.
Okay, and that is, again, that's along Columbia.
Correct.
No, I'm asking because I live across the street and I don't want to look at more, hard surface. Are we putting trees in? No. But so that's along Columbia.
Mhm.
And so how are we getting more hard surface area? Are we taking it closer to are we getting rid of grass, going closer to Wilbur Wright? Where are you gaining that frontage, that depth to add in?
I thought you offered your front lawn. It's not a considerable amount more, but
How much is it?
currently right now, traffic flows through here. It comes back. This is all hard surface now, it's a building. This is gonna be all parking here. This is an additional spot. Now granted, currently right now, this is a lot of the tennis courts. This is all grass right now, probably starting here forward, but you're adding all of this parking in this whole
I
area.
see now.
Yep. So you can almost think of this as there's like two parking lots going in front of Wilbur Wright. And this is hard surface in between them. So car parking for the day, bus parking, but also overflow.
And that's on purpose, because right now we have cars that sometimes intermingle with people coming in that are either employees or parents. And we want to completely separate bus traffic and car traffic.
We did a full traffic study, when we started doing this design, to look at traffic flow all the way down from Fishers to Ridge. And all that traffic flow before and after school. So a lot of that went into the design before we started saying like, where does stuff go? We really put a lot of effort into that so that we could alleviate some of that pressure on Columbia, knowing how much traffic flows, how much square footage we need for traffic flow on campus, getting people through lights, all those control mechanisms. We put a lot of effort into that, and we have turned that over to the council before that traffic study to see why we made the decisions we made based off of the input that we got.
And the impervious surface is about another half acre, about 24,000 square feet of impervious surface is being added, but we are adding more detention.
Yep.
So it'll be a net loss of, water being shifted down to we're going to do a better job of the water detention. And if you could see, I think right there, you can see that we are planting trees in the front.
Yeah, you'll have lots of trees. You're welcome. We'll make sure they don't poke anybody's eye out.
That's right.
Or we'll come back and ask for a
We'll have to
polymer
come back
straw.
and ask for a different tree, but we'll match the code, so.
We have a little more room. We have a little more
We
room.
got a little more wiggle room in this spot. Yeah.
Well, those will be recycled.
Yeah, yeah.
Just so everyone knows, I'm an employee of the sponsor, so it's not.
So, I will just ask, as you, with the new awesome building, you guys have been so collaborative, and I mean, you guys have gone above and beyond with what you did at the middle school with the light, or the elementary schools with the lights, and so no complaints. I just ask if there are cost-effective ways to break up that architecture and make it a little more interesting without making a grand entrance or something that is deceptive. In my mind, I can picture what I think would break it up, but I don't know how to articulate it.
We're hoping that the mascot lives on that big forehead, as you call it. We're hoping that there's substantial wayfinding signage. We get it. We're creating an atypical situation where your central office is going to be adjacent to your batting practice. That's for cost saving measures. And listen, I'm a kid person. I think it's great that when people come into our central office for meetings, they look out, you'll see the interiors later, but they're gonna look out and be able to see practice happening. We are a kid-focused endeavor. And our signage is gonna be like, hey, if you're going to practice, go this way. If you're coming in to see the superintendent, come this way. Like, we're gonna work. I hear what you're saying, and I think we have a plan for that, but the whole signage part is later, guys.
Yeah, we're holding.
It's just signage. I have, in my mind, I have architectural elements that, like, can I ask you what they're called? A Sergio, what, like
What is the,
what is a,
what is the construction of the walls? Is that precast concrete?
No,
No.
this is brick.
Brick,
Face here,
brick.
and this is a metal panel.
Yeah, it's brick.
So it's brick all the way up to, all the way to the top, all the way up to here.
element,
And then
It's a
it's
steel building
metal
with-
or
panel.
maybe even over.
With brick facade, yeah.
Is the little door, a people door, like into like a stairway or something?
Yeah, it's an emergency exit, yep.
This street
Um,
or
No, the one over on by
well,
the,
I was looking at the little one in the brick.
that's, I believe the fire riser. Yeah, we want for access by the fire department to have access to the fire riser,
Yeah.
fire equipment.
All
And-
right,
and that's
but,
good point.
Rambling, but if I was to like maybe send Mr. Nolan a picture of what I can't articulate
Send it
at
to
some
me.
point.
Yeah.
can I do
send it
that?
to me. We can look at it. I mean, we'll entertain it, but again,
Saying, right, I'm not looking to spend unnecessary money, I'm just looking for it to be a little more aesthetic.
me either. I don't want to spend unnecessary money either, but I'll tell you, every time we look at this thing, you know, and the cost of things going on, we want to maximize every cent dollar we get here. And, you know, we want it to look nice, but the reality is the inside's the most important part.
For sure.
Our kids are not gonna
We're
get,
getting it.
they're not gonna get better because we got a nice looking building with nothing in it. And so, you know, we have to think both short range and long range on that. And we'll entertain anything. I mean, DLA's been a great partner as we've worked through this. They've brought in these ideas. But we've had to be the ones to say, yeah, we don't want to spend money on, I mean, we could brick the whole thing, but the inside be empty, you know? And so it's like, we have
That's why
to
I think it's a
sacrifice.
big code.
Yeah, we gotta sacrifice little pieces of the puzzle here so that we'd be like, okay, we have to have these things inside for our athletes, for our students, to make sure this facility works. Which means we have to give up something somewhere. And if we've got to give up a fancy entrance so that we have,
Asking for fancy yet.
well,
Or has this building already gone before the plan commission
No.
No.
for developmental?
Mm-mm.
Doesn't need to?
It does, but it meets all the requirements, and that's why they're here for us, for the variance.
This they can do a pole barn.
But as far as the
Literally.
material.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know, I appreciate that.
All fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
if it was not compliant, they would not be, they would be here asking for a variance, so they're
Okay.
asking for a variance on that.
All right, well, let's move on.
Yes.
And I need a
Should
motion.
we move this to public hearing?
Yes.
Right. Madam Chairman, I propose that we move BZA 26-003 to public hearing on June.
Can you provide a second? We have a motion and a second. Can we take roll?
Member Brannigan,
Abstain.
member Galante,
Yes.
member Johns,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. Thank you.
thank you guys.
Providing
Yeah.
of.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Sorry to heckle you.
No, you did tackle.
Okay.
I've had
last
worse.
item. Finding of fact, BZA 25-006. This was, a modification to the variance for Keegan Casala. Do we have any corrections, modifications?
This is the fence, right?
This was the fence.
I will make a motion to approve BZA A 25-006 developmental standards variant.
Second, someone?
I'll second, sorry.
We have a motion and a second to approve the findings of fact, BZA 25-006. Roll call, please.
Member Brannigan.
Yeah.
Member Galante,
Abstain.
member Johns,
Yes.
and member Mayor.
Yes. Okay. Other business, BZA rules and regulations status update.
So the town recently, accepted or adopted their strategic plan. Within the strategic plan, identifies, a request or, an item that identifies additional, training for BZA and planning commission members. We're currently coordinating with, KK Fritz was here 2 years ago. She gave a workshop on, BZA rules and planning commission, citizen, matters. We're coordinating with her to come back and do an encore presentation before she retires as a curtain call. And as if she would be doing a refresher on some of the rules and regs. But we're also gonna ask her to address, or I'm sorry, the procedures and policies, I should say, on BCA matters and planning commission matters, but also ask her to talk about the rules and procedures. And then incorporate new state policies and state statutes, and kind of present them to us in a digestible form. That we were aware of what's moving forward. So we're gonna ask her to package all that for us, and it will be sometime, in August or September as well. We're working to now do.
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, our next meeting is June 9th. And I need a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion and second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 You all set?
That's yours.
All right, folks, I'm gonna call to order this meeting of the Town of Munster's Planning Commission for Tuesday, May 12th, 2026. Please set your phones on stun and let's stand for a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Mendoza, nice to see you. Call roll, please.
Counselor Schinkin.
Here.
Counselor Hopper. Here. Counselor Nellens.
Here.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Here.
Commissioner Johns.
Here.
Commissioner Rappin.
Here.
And Commissioner Baker.
Present. We have a quorum. Next up is the approval of minutes from April 14th, 2026. Any changes, modifications, motions? What say you?
So we'll make motion to approve the minutes.
There's the motion to approve. Is there a second?
Here.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed? All right, moving right along. First up is a public hearing for PC 26-002, a PUD amendment. Bill Houlihan of Absolute Advertising representing Franciscan Health. Requests amend the Franciscan Alliance Plan Unit Development with an addendum for signage standards for building expansion at the Franciscan Alliance at 701 Superior. Mr. Mendoza.
So this is an amendment to the existing PUD. The amendment includes, strictly just, sign codes for their overall campus. We, previously submitted a PUD that identifies, the codes themselves. Within your staff report, I have, identified a summary of each one of those items that they're proposing. They did not submit photographs of what the proposed sign would look like. Rather, what you see there are photos that are existing on site on campus. To identify that they do comply with the codes they're proposing. Essentially, what they're doing is codifying their sign codes into their PUD standards. So, once they are prepared to submit new codes or new signage, they will just comply with that code itself or return to the BZA for a variance. That is essentially what they've done.
Okay, any questions for staff on this particular petition? Is there none? Somebody to speak on behalf of this petition? Please come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Going once.
Go on. Hello.
Are you representing the petitioner?
Yeah. She's secretary at Absolute Advertising.
Oh, okay.
She has been doing most of the paperwork that
Excellent. Ma'am, if you would just state your name and address for the record, because this is public, and you can pull the microphone down and then get it on tape, because it's good stuff.
Kathleen Danner, 8719 White Oak Avenue, Munster.
Anything you'd like to state to the commission with regards to this particular petition, ma'am?
Yeah, only that these are, a lot of the signs that we're, you know, presenting are already existing. We're gonna be adding some signs, of course, because of the addition. And all of any signs, you know, like you said, that don't comply, will have to go before the committee again and get approved, so. I would say, all the signs that are currently there have obviously been approved already.
Okay.
I-
Any questions for the petitioner? Bring it back to the board. She seems to think they're all up and approved already.
No, the signs that
Oh, I
are
thought
already
that's what you
there,
said.
I said the
Signs that are already.
signs are already there, obviously have been approved already,
Oh,
so.
Yes.
There's,
Okay, this is a PUD, so this is a recommendation to the council, folks.
So I'm looking at staff findings and they have a favorable recommendation, so I'm gonna make a motion, for the town council, a motion to send a favorable recommendation to the town council for PC 26-002, an amendment to the Franciscan Alliance Plan of Unit Development for updated sign standards, including all findings and discussions.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second
Hold
that.
on your second, you just public hearing.
Sorry?
You just open the public hearing, if I can hold your second for.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
So any other discussion with regards to this? All right, so then I'll open the public section for comment on this. If anyone would like to speak on this petition, please come to the microphone, state your name and address. Going once, going twice. All right, I'll close the public, bring it back to the commission. Counselor, you made a motion? Ms. Bennett, do we have to do it again?
No, that's sufficient.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I second.
And then there's a second discussion on the motion in a second. If there are none, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Schinkin.
Yes.
Counselor Hopper.
Yes.
Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Johns.
Yes.
Commissioner Rathman
Yes.
and Commissioner Baker.
Yes. Next up is preliminary hearing. BC 26-00311. Development plan review. Mr. Adi with Community Foundation requests review the development plan submitted for changes required for the final design of the building at site at 802 MacArthur Boulevard. Mr. Mendoza.
So this site received a development plan approval about a year ago. They are now requesting some minor changes to the overall approved development plan, particularly some areas that they are requesting as part of this development plan approval or for the BZA for variances. This is the site here shaded that you see the impact of the overall site. They are not proposing, previously the proposal was to have the proposed five-story building attached to the existing structure. They are requesting that it now no longer be attached, essentially creating a corridor, pedestrian corridor of some sorts between the two existing buildings and the proposed building. They are also adding additional landscaping or additional green space, particularly along here, and landscaping within the pedestrian corridor separating the two buildings. They're also complying with all the other requirements as identified within their PUD and or as identified within the zoning code. The two variances that they are asking for as part of this development plan approval is a widening of the existing driveway from 28 feet to 52 feet. Current code requires 35 feet. They are now before the BZA asking for a variance on that. The other item is a screening mechanism. The current code as part of the PUD requires a 6-foot screening against mechanicals and or dumpsters. In this case, they are now proposing a backup generator. Then they're proposing a 16-foot height fence or screening for that, and that is before the BZA for a variance. That will be located in the parking lot just south of the proposed structure there itself. So those are the minor changes to the development plan approval.
Thank you. This is a preliminary. Any questions for the staff? There are none, somebody to speak on behalf of the petitioner. Yes, sir. Please state your name and address.
Brian Sluter, construction manager for Powers Health Community Hospital, 901 MacArthur Avenue or MacArthur Boulevard, Munster, Indiana. You're seeking the two variances for the five-story MOB building. The two site items that are the major variances that we're seeking. The increase in the generator enclosure is mainly to cover the taller generator that was needed for the design of the building. And then the increased width of the parking lot entrance into the south parking lot is to allow easier access for the garbage trucks to come and to retrieve the dumpsters and to dump them. So after going through final design, these two requirements were needed to kind of improve the project for what we needed for the site.
Thank you. Any questions for the petitioner? It's a preliminary hearing, folks. So we're looking at this as basically the two mentions of the variances, but really the building separating from the original plan that where it was going to be attached.
So the changes that you were seeing before you, as part of minor changes to the overall development plan that was approved last year, include the separation of the building. Previously it was approved for a connection. The other one was some landscaping that was not previously presented. There's now being presented, which includes within the separation of the building and then along the access entrance to between the parking garage and the proposed building. That was not previously presented at your original development plan approval. The other two items that you would be seeing if granted through the BZA is the screening for the mechanicals that was not previously presented as part of the development plan approval. And then the expansion or widening of the driveway that was not previously presented, that is now presented here as part of your development.
Thank you.
And those will go to BZA.
Those two items are for the BZA at this point, correct?
All right, folks, preliminary hearing.
Before we make motions, that's a public hearing. Has there been any kind of sound studies in the generator?
No, but they typically put it in an outdoor enclosure. So the enclosure helps to reduce the sound. It is emergency backup generator, so we have to do the monthly test, which would be done early in the morning. And it'd only be used when we lose power for the building. So we're trying not to disrupt the neighboring, people around us, but we don't have a study done on the noise of the generator, which is pretty typical for a lot of the other, outpatient facilities that we have.
How many generators currently are on campus?
There's 8 generators. That's part of the main hospital. This is going to be the first, outside of that on the south end of campus. So this would be number 9. The other 8 are on the north end of the building enclosed inside the engineering boiler plant areas of the building on the north end.
Got it.
What size is this generator?
I think it's 250 kW. Is it? No. 1 megawatt, I believe.
Right.
I believe it is a 1 megawatt.
Which would be what, 750?
1,000 kilowatt.
KW?
Yeah. 1,000 kW.
Typically, they've got a good exhaust system on them. We've not had any complaints in that neighborhood with generators so far.
Okay, any other questions for this preliminary? Good for a motion, folks.
I'll make that motion to schedule PC 26-003, a proposed updated development plan for 802 MacArthur five-story medical office building for a June 9th, 2026, a public hearing including all discussions and findings.
Is there a motion and a second?
I'll second.
And a second, any discussion? Either none, Mr. Mendoza.
Councilor Schinkin.
Yes.
Councilor Hopper.
Yes.
Councilor Nellens.
Yes.
Councilor Brannigan.
Yes.
Councilor Johns.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Johns. Commissioner Rathman
Yes.
and Commissioner Baker.
Yes. Thank you. See you next month.
Thank you
Next
very much.
up, another preliminary hearing, PC 26-004, development plan review. Matt Kimball, Centennial Village, requests the review of a development plan for a 10,361 square foot UCM medical office building proposed for lot 12 to be commonly known as 9511 Calumet Avenue. Mr. Mendoza.
So this is a proposal for development plan review to a PUD that recently was adopted by the town council. The previous approval about 2 months ago occurred for a 4-lot subdivision. as a preliminary, plan approval. As part of that, they also received a development plan approval for a Sprouts Market as well as a Chase Bank. Those are identified on preliminary, proposed plat for lots, 10 and 13. No, 11 and 13, sorry. They are now returning for lot 12, proposal of a medical office building, University of Chicago, Medicine or Medical. They have submitted a development plan approval or review for your consideration. This is the facility itself, with the meeting requirements. The architecture is compliance with PUD as well as the lighting standards, lighting specs, as well as landscaping. So all this is in compliant with your development plan approvals, as part of the PUD.
Any questions for staff? Preliminary hearing, somebody to speak on behalf of the petition? Yes, sir. It's been a while. Nice to see you.
It's been a while, I don't come here very often. Russ Posen.
bonus now.
Russ Posen, with DVD Team Inc., 1155 Troutline Road, Crown Point, Indiana. Obviously, we're excited to bring this here. We obviously mentioned this, potential building, a couple meetings ago, and I'm glad that, it is coming to fruition. And yes, it is a medical office. University of Chicago Medicine is the intended, tenant. Obviously, we're in line with the PUD, we've kind of, we did the development plan for the overall subdivision kind of with this building in mind, and things kind of kept moving all at the same time. And, we're again, Sergio mentioned that we are meeting the ordinance, so the PUD ordinance, we have a landscape plan that I think is, in good, standing. It's got arborvitae's on the far north side of the property, which is, was mentioned in a couple of meetings ago about kind of making sure that we have good, native barrier between our development and the bike path, and that's a continuation of that. We have some other nice, landscaping here that does meet the PUD ordinance. I'm open for any questions you have here, but, we're just excited to keep bringing this, development to the north part here, and obviously it's, good to keep things moving here.
Any questions for the petitioner?
Have you heard when Sprouts is gonna start yet?
As soon as we get a SWIP approval from the town, we're gonna start construction very quickly. So, and he, the developer intends to really build all three of these buildings essentially, and the site work all at the same time. So we're trying to go, probably late already, but
So you think three of those bills will be going up simultaneously?
pretty close to that, Yep. Yeah, he's wanting to get this thing going. I'm real excited about it. And it's getting closer every day.
I'll make a motion to set this for public hearing.
I'll second it.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Either none, Mr. Mendoza.
Counselor Schinkin.
Yes.
Counselor Hopper.
Yes.
Counselor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Barnes.
Yes.
Commissioner Raffin.
Yes.
And Commissioner Baker.
Yes. See you next month.
Thank you. See you next month.
And
All right, moving right along. Next up is PC 26-005. A place called the Town of Munster is requesting to repeal and replace sections of the Munster zoning, Munster character-based code, including a new zone map. Ordinance number 1788 adopted December 23rd, 2019. Mr. Mendoza.
So, approximately 2 years ago, staff was given the directive to, amend our zoning code, roll back our zoning code to the Euclidean format, that was previously adopted prior to adopting the character-based code. Staff, conducted, the research necessary for that rollback and determined that it would not be a viable, solution for, the town of Munster, and determined that, the character-based code really was not, another viable solution moving forward in determining what the current land uses are and the experiences of our local business community and residents were having with the current zoning code. And so what is the most appropriate, format is a UDO, Unified Development Ordinance. And so staff has taken that information from the character-based code as well as what worked well within the Euclidean code, and combine those with adjacent or looking at adjacent or more successful communities with their zoning codes and proposed or drafted a UDO. Again, this is just sections, a majority of sections within the zoning code that specifically deal with zoning and bulk standards that are being requested to be repealed and amended as part of this process. As part of this, we also want to identify that it's supported within the strategic plan. It's been identified, and particularly what some of the responses were from the strategic groups or select groups that were interviewed with that process. We were requesting updates to the zoning code. With regards to updating the zoning code, we're also going back to uniform based code classifications. This is universal standard that identified in the planning world with regards to zoning classifications. Typically, this is a similar kind of map that you would see prior to the character-based zoning code. Essentially, any community can look at this map and identify what those codes represent universally as identified. Again, as part of this rollback, as it's been identified, essentially really we've discovered peel back, we've noticed that there are many PUDs that were not honored and updated in the zoning code. And so the breach of those PUDs really caused a problem in the overall future and redevelopment of the town itself. So we identified those within the zoning map. See those there with the corresponding codes. We did our best efforts to identify zone classifications based on the zoning code on the existing use of the area that each of those developments occurred, particularly in neighborhoods and or commercial areas, and fit those. So you have before you a copy of the zoning code that's been proposed for amendment. There are plans to have individual meetings with commissioners and counselors to review this code itself. And then as well, staff is available at any time if you'd like to have discussions or questions regarding what was presented to you.
Okay, to add a little more color to this, President Hofer.
Yeah, I want to just take this opportunity to clarify what we're doing with this, and there's been a lot of mixed message out there in what's happening as far as, we're looking at this as kind of a launching of what part of the zoning code we have ready. And like Sergio was mentioning that, they came across a lot of things, a lot of fixes, reorganizing things so that they ran, connected smoothly within the zoning code. But just so everybody understands that it's a soft, like we're launching it, we're gonna have the opportunity to review the 180 pages or how many pages it is.
230.
230 pages. Well, I'm only on 180.
I read it today.
You're doing well.
But anyways, we'll have opportunities to review as much as we choose, and then like Sergio had mentioned too, that we're gonna have opportunities to meet two counselors at a time, or two counselors, two commissioners, and we'll be meeting with Sergio and Nicole to ask questions, to get those questions answered, and also too, if we do stumble across something that may need to be rewritten or re-edited, we have that opportunity to do that, so that we have it in motion, which is a good thing, and then we can kind of hopefully get this done by June. If not, we push it to July, but it's in motion and we're actually, making some progress, which is beautiful.
Thank you. Any questions for staff or the council?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
any thoughts of, even for just transparency, like do a work study? I mean, we used to do that a lot in some of the other items we tackled through town, and it got everyone put together at least once or twice, because it's a monumental thing, changing the code and zoning orders. I lived through the horrific one prior to the last one that was changed, and I don't see a lot of issues created without, doing some proper vetting.
Well, I think, in my opinion, to answer your question, the amount of people with the level of interest that we may have, you may have, and you're in the business of, doing these types of things. I think that if people came with questions, specific questions, they could get them answered. But to sit and review a 230-page document with people would be a pretty big detail. Am I thinking about it wrong, or is that?
Well, I'm just trying to narrow the timeline down by getting everyone in the room and talk about stuff instead of having multiple meetings sometimes. And
Well, the
we
problem.
don't circle back the same things, and if I'm thinking something different than Jen or you, and then how is that being communicated?
So what's gonna happen is, obviously we can't do 3 counselors at a time. We go to 2 counselors two commissioners. And then we're writing, these questions that everybody's asking will be written down, documented, answered, so that everybody will have access to those questions and answers. So there will be a kind of a working document of what's asked, how's it answered, and everything. So I will run that. But, and I think there's your 3 meetings that we've.
3 dates are thrown out now.
Yeah, 3 that we're looking at scheduling.
If I can just add it onto what, President Hopper says as well, is the thought was too that those intimate settings would allow people to have more voice. Tends to happen in a large group, right? A few speak, loudest voices, the control, and that this allows to hear and have that one-on-one, but then as Joe said, that then everybody will get all answers, to everything, so that it hopefully can further more discussion if need be on those specific areas, but it's going to, I know in the past when the open sessions have happened often, right, it's people coming in and are, well, what about this, and what about that? They're not reviewing it, they're just coming to ask. And so the thought was of getting it directly from all of you and council, who are the ones who are intimately involved.
The only thing I like that, and I also like the idea of when we have it, is it possible, although a little bit flies in the face of what you just expressed, is it possible to do the smaller breakout sessions with this working document with all the questions and stuff, and then come back together? Because I think that, if I'm in the first group and then I hear something that Roland said and it sparks it, and now I have questions that I didn't have then, but now I do because there's further discussion. So is it possible to do those little breakout groups and then do a public,
Like, so we
work
go back to
session?
the public hearing either way, for discussion at that point. Obviously, as, President Hopper said, that if there are any, and Sergio for that matter, any follow-up questions at that point, and there needs to be additional meetings, I think it's gonna kind of be a wait and see of what, comes out of that and what's needed.
Okay, so if we set it for public hearing in June now, and we have those breakout meetings between now and then, but so it goes to public hearing.
Which gives your public an opportunity to speak, an opportunity to voice about it as well, and that it really engages the public at that point if they want to be engaged.
I would encourage this commission to keep that, if this is continued, to keep that public hearing open as long as we need to be able to vet the risk that will continue to be.
Yeah, as much as I want to see things move forward, and I know you guys worked really hard on it. I just want to make sure that, it just, if there are, if there's anything else to add or change or, not that you guys haven't spent the last 2 years of your lives working on it, and I know that we have lots of good expertise.
No, I think at the staff level, we'll follow whatever directive we get from the council and from the commission. We have no problems with the work we've done. We have no problems with hosting our public hearings or whatever the case is. We just need the directive.
Well, we're looking at modeling this, you mentioned other communities. Is that other communities from the area? Or
Yes.
is it central?
That's much modeling, taking that as input and then making decisions on how that fits. Because obviously, a lot of communities around, right, are not mirrors to what Munster is. But it's a guidance of, development, let's say in Crown Point or in St. John, where they have open areas and open acreage to have new subdivisions, which we don't have. So it's much more of a focus on an infill situation, remodelings, demolitions and infill that way. So definitely looking at that and what works in areas around here, other areas of the state. There's been a significant amount of changes at the state level statutorily over the last 12 months. That really has changed the impact, the control that local communities have.
That's why I feel like this is so important if we're gonna create this framework. I just want us to be as clear as we can be.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we tried to do so that it is laying that out to comply with state law that sets out specific standards within the law that can be set.
Yeah.
keep in mind, it's the guy there, it's not just whatever he wants, paint everything in the town neon green, no, we can't do that. So that has also really affected a lot of the things that are capable of being done because of what's happened at the state level.
Understood.
I have one quick question on the zoning map. All the PUDs have numbers on it. Is that just for sequential or is that how it's referenced for the town?
So there are, as part of the zoning code update, and see this zoning map, there's a section that deals with the subdivisions themselves. And so you'll see, and I've put the excerpt here of that. So the numbers correlate to that district, that PUD district that was created with the supporting ordinances that established that district itself.
Those are all the effective PUD ordinances in the town.
So. And so the way it's been
There's a
formatted
lot.
is to
Yeah, there
really,
is.
left to right, bottom, top to bottom. We used, even numbers. So in anticipation for future PUDs, we can put them in coordinating within what would ideally be in the spot numerically that can easily be referenced.
Thank you. All right, this is gonna be a fun one. And this is a preliminary, so what y'all wanna do?
I'm gonna make a motion to schedule PC 26-005, a proposed repeal and replace sections of the Munster character-based zoning board ordinance for a June 9th, 2026 public hearing, including all discussions and findings.
There's a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second, any discussion?
Question I have
Yes, sir.
is, will we all be meeting to discuss these, or are we gonna have the breakouts will be a limit of 2 counselors? That's what he
Who's
said.
running the meetings? Is that you, Sergio, your office? Or is that Nicole's office running those?
That is coming, I believe, Councilman Gardner is coordinating those meetings.
Okay. Copy that. So, I mean, is there a framework as far as it's 2 council members and 2 commissioners?
Sir, I just show up at what time they tell me to show up.
What's the numbers?
Is it four? Out for you for who's available.
Councilors, 2 commissioners.
2 counselors,
You
2
can't have more
commissioners,
than that.
and the attorney.
You gotta remember, because you got 3 counselors that sit on the planning commission,
Yeah.
so they count in dual roles for purposes of either sitting for a quorum of either. I don't know.
Get me quick, I'm going to Italy in a month.
That's a little.
So if there's 3 meetings, I mean, are all the counselors gonna just split up the meetings? Or is it gonna be just on schedule, so they're just gonna hear whomever happens to be sitting with them at that particular day?
I don't know the details of that.
I was gonna say, how that.
And that's gonna be coordinated by Councilman Gardner.
It would be good to have some continuity between the meetings. Somebody who, well, Sergio and you.
I was gonna say, we'll be at them.
So you
Jim will
can
be
say
there.
this was discussed and this was.
Jim will be there as well, so.
We'll be at both meetings.
And some of it too, though, is we don't want to necessarily steer this conversation, because keep in mind, you get answers from, you're going to get collective answers from all, or collective questions and answers from every meeting, so if obviously somebody, if that's where the conversation goes, sure, but if not, by all means, want to hear from the people that are present in the current one. To then, consolidate everything so that we're not just repeating the same stuff, but yet getting the most information.
Yeah.
Who's taking the notes then from each of these meetings? I mean, is it gonna be the same person, like, is it?
It's gonna be AI.
I'm sure it's gonna be between the 3 of us, yeah, I mean, because it's,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying, because then we're going to put out what those
Yeah.
questions and answers are,
Yeah.
so.
Any other discussion? There's a motion and a second, Mr. Mendoza.
Councilor Schinkin.
Yes.
Councilor Hopper.
Yes.
Councilor Nellens.
Yes.
Commissioner Brannigan.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Commissioner Wacken.
Yes.
And Commissioner Baker.
Yes. All right, moving right along. Next up, finding of facts. There are none. Other business, planning commission rules and regulations status update. We need more rules and regulations, Sergio.
Yes, I think you asked for guardrails, sir.
Love
A
guardrails.
couple months ago, you asked for guardrails, and so, we are using that, for you and the commissioners and future commissioners. As part of this, what we are planning to do is bring in, return PK Fritz She presented to the commissioners and councils, and board members, 2 years ago. She gave a course on, citizen planner guide. Most of you still have this document. We have the recording if you'd like to review it. We're asking her to return and give a refresher of that, course. But then also focus on the rules and regs that we have adopted or we plan to ask to adopt the resolution. To help you guys understand, what the purpose of those are and what's, kind of being practiced now at the state level, as well as identify all the changes at the state statute at state level, that Attorney Bennett has indicated, and put them in a digestible form that you all can understand of what, what the expectations are, moving forward. So we're looking to practice to have this possibly at the end of August or September. She's been retiring, moving to New York, and so she will no longer be a resource for the state of Indiana. And so this will eventually be for the encore, her encore presentation and curtain call.
Retirement tour and see. Okay, so, looking forward to that. Will there be anything coming to us prior to that, or is that the whole enchilada?
No, I think you guys will get, some of these documents that we're talking about, particularly with the state code statutes, so that way you see it in the raw form of what the state legislature is passing, as well as the rules and regs, and then, as at least, before we meet with KK, or we meet KK on that.
Did you say there's a date for that or not yet?
No, we're still coordinating with,
All right. Next up, is the next meeting, June 9th, 2026, gonna be a heavy lift. Let's all be ready. Even Mr. Schenken coming back from Italy. And any chance we can get a motion to adjourn? Second. And a second, all those in favor, aye. Aye. 40 minutes.
Good job.
Hey, 36.
Wrong dates for the breakout sessions?
And are we still out on,
Yes.
are we still recorded?
Yep. 1 second.
So hold on until, so we're adjourned. You have to wait until they stop recording for their answer.